Well, good morning and welcome to a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus. We are going to be spending about the next 45 minutes together putting on our makeup and learning a Bible verse. So we're just going to have all kinds of fun. This kind of marries two things that I dearly love. So the first thing that we're going to do is talk about the foundation verse for our podcast. And that comes from Psalm 119, verse 11. That is, I have hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you. I have been kind of reflecting on Vacation Bible Schools this past week, and this verse actually comes from a Vacation Bible School. The song went something like this. I have hidden your word in my heart, thump, thump, that I may not sin against you. So whatever it takes for you to memorize a Bible verse, please do it. The reason why you sing songs of scripture during Vacation Bible School is because it helps you remember the verse. So, and speaking of that, where are all of our verses coming from? And all of our verses are going to be coming from the Word in Color coloring book. You can see that QR code and that link on your screen right there. So we're going to color our way through this book. This is going to be season 1. And at the end of the season, you are going to have this beautiful colored pictorial display of all these verses that you learned. Second thing is, when you spend time coloring these verses, it's going to give you time to reflect and to kind of live with the verse. I really like the picture for this week. This is our verse for this week. A little more intricate than some of the others. You couldn't see part of it because I got that there on. There, how about we do that? There you go. So each week is going to be kind of a different theme, a little bit different flavor, and we are way more than halfway through the book. So way more than halfway through our first season. So let's go ahead. Speaking of our first season, let's dive in and take a look at the verse that we were working on last week. So last week our verse was, let me get it on the screen there for you. Clothe yourselves with compassion, with kindness, with humility. Kindness, compassion, humility, gentleness. Oh yeah, and that last thing, patience. So maybe it's just me that struggles with that. That's why I giggle. So, but if you're with me, this will be a good verse for you. And that comes from Colossians 3:12, I believe. So you've got that on your screen there. Now let's look at what we're going to be doing this week. So this week we're going to shift gears. We're going to go back to the book of Psalm, and we're going to be spending some time with this one. The coloring picture, which I just showed you a second ago. The Lord, my God, lights up my darkness. Psalm 18:28. So some inferences in that verse is lights up my darkness. It doesn't say if I have darkness, it says my darkness, which means what are we all going to probably have? We're all probably going to have some darkness. So great news is that the Lord, my God, lights up that darkness. So get out of darkness with the Lord God. All right, so we're going to get that scrolling across the bottom of our screen there so we can look up and review that while we are doing our makeup. Now, there are a couple of points in here where we're going to specifically and diligently say that verse together while we're doing a couple of things, and I would hope that and encourage you that you would do this throughout your week while you're putting on your makeup as well. I believe that that will help you to live with the verse and to keep that verse at the forefront of your mind. But do whatever you need. We've got the wallpaper that comes out so you can put it on your phone. I showed you last week that you could take the different scripture verses saved on your phone and make it a wallpaper on your watch. I really like that. Every time you flip your wrist upside down, it gives you a different verse. So it's kind of like flashcards. So even if you're not allowed to have your phone like out in the open doing personal stuff while you're at work like me, you can use your watch and still be doing it, but doing your job effectively as well. All right, so now that we've got that going, we are going to talk about our theme for this week. I didn't actually name the thing. Let's see. We are going to call it, let's see. Because we're going to do a red lipstick and we're going to do brown. So let's call it coffee with a cherry on top. Oh, I like that. Okay, coffee with a cherry on top. So we are going to start out with our foundation. We're going to be using our Urban Decay All-Nighter Primer. They do have two versions of this. So this is going to be the original one. This is going to be for, either one of these are really for any skin type. But this one is great for normal through oily skin. Then they've also got the the dewy finish one. I can't remember what the name of it is, but they've got that one if you choose to have a dewy finish, or if you've got drier skin, that one's definitely hydrating. So you're just going to do one pump, going to work that between our fingers. I always start out with it under my eyes. You do what you need to do, and then we're just going to work it out from the center. This is going to help our foundation to last better. It is going to even out fine lines and wrinkles, textures in your skin, and just going to give your makeup a good place. I also like to run it around my lips, keep your lipstick in place, reduce bleed out. So it does a lot of great things for you. And again, that was the All Nighter Primer from Urban Decay. We are going to be using the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye for our concealer. And a little bit of this goes a long way. So we are just going to use a skinny, tiny ribbon of that. Let me get that capped up. Oh, what shade am I? In fact, I should get the chat going over here. All right, there we go. Nice to see you guys. So sorry, I did not have you turned on just yet. All right, we are in the shade 11. This is light nude. Let me get it. Hold on just a second. There you go. Okay. So ask me a question in the chat there, and I will do my best to get that answered for you while we are live. So ask away. And we're just going to start out with that concealer under the eye, acne scarring, whatever it is that you would like to conceal, to hide. Hence the word concealer. All right. I think I say that like every week. All right, we're just gonna get that going around here. I do have redness throughout here, so I'm just gonna use that concealer to kind of minimize the redness a little bit. Yes, you can use the green color corrector as well. Do what suits you. And I have been playing with the Real Techniques foundation blender. I've actually kind of fallen in love with it. So now that we've let that concealer sit for just a minute to warm up to our body temperature, we're going to use that beauty blender to blend that out just a little bit. You don't want to rub off what you just put on there, but we do need to blend it out. Make the edges smooth. So when we add the foundation, we don't have any like lines happening. And it is kind of a tapping, blurring motion. Little tapping, little smearing. There you go. All right, and today we're going to be stepping back to our Fenty Pro Filter foundation. This is the Pro Filter Pro Filter Soft Matte Long Wear Foundation. There we go. And this is in the shade 185. Just going to give it some shakes so that it is all blended and ready to use. And this one, because I'm using a brush kind of a thing, I'm actually going to do a couple pumps on the back of my hand so that I can dip into it. So we got the foundation on the hand. We're just going to lightly tap it and then dot it around and blend it out. Make sure we get down the chin a little bit so we don't have any lines happening there. And again, this is kind of a dabbing, blurring motion. Just give it a couple taps again. And that just works nicely. I just love this brush. I do kind of miss the damp beauty blender a little bit though, not gonna lie. This does tug ever so slightly, but it's not bad. Again, going down below that chin line a little so we can blend that out nicely. And it looks like I need just another little partial of a pump. There we go. So we can do the forehead there. All right, just gonna lift that hair up. Yes, you can use a, if you have some clips or a headband or like a spa band or something like that. They just kind of drive me crazy. Okay, fair enough. Might already be a little crazy. All right. Once you have got that all nice and blended out, making sure we're getting around our nose, we got everything good. Oh, look, there's a little cat here visiting with us. That's super fun. There we go. All right, we're going to set all of that aside, and now we are going to set our foundation. I'm just going to wipe off that excess on the back of my hand. We are going to be using the Lancome. This is the Long Time No Shine. Things I love about this, and why do I choose this one? This one has great for oil control. It's also milled very fine, so it sets really pretty. Doesn't offer any color. It's a translucent. They do have this in a dark version as well. It's a great all-around diverse powder. So we are going to tip this upside down, give it a couple of taps so that you can have some of the powder work out for you. It does come with a puff already. You can use a brush if you want. I just like to reduce the flyaway, so I prefer the puff. Here we go. We're going to start out under the eye area. Just pressing gently in there. Very little side to side with this. Mostly you're just tapping. Just pressing it into every part of your face. All right, since I got a few of you here on with me, let me ask you while we're doing this, what are some things that you have done with your verse to help you have it in front of you to get that memorized? What are some things that you have tried? I mean, obviously, I have the things that I send out for you, the video with the blanks it in and the graphics with the blanks and all of that. But what are some things that you have done that have helped you to memorize the verses? I'd be interested to hear kind of, where you guys are at. All right. So we are going to do our contouring now. We're going to be using two different kinds of brushes. The first one is this one here. This is going to be your bronzer. This will be your highlighter. This is actually a foundation brush, but I love the control that you get with this tip here. Then we got this one here, which is just your general all-purpose blush brush. We're going to be using the NARS. This is the Laguna O2. This is their bronzing powder. Just a nice kind of, it's a cool shade, but it has like just a hint of warmth to it. So perfect if you don't want it too warm. We are going to use the point end of this. Little bit of a U shape here, just above where your actual jawbone is there. Same thing on the other side. Just up that temple a little bit. We're going to use the flat side, just like one swipe of it, up here on the hairline, and then come down just a little bit. Now we're going to be using the side edge of it, under the jaw. Giving it a little more definition than it actually has. We're going to continue using that same side, and we're going to define our nose a little. Just make sure we got that. All right. Now we're going to move to our highlighting. This is the MAC Double Gleam Extra Dimension Skin Finish. And I think this one, Double Gleam is the name of the shade. So just a really pretty, it's It's got a little bit of sparkle to it, but not too much. So we're just going to use this end of it right on the top of that. There you go. Cheekbone. There you go. And up the side of that temple, close to your brow bone. Down the center. Making sure we hit the Cupid's bow. All right, we can set that brush aside now and move to your blush brush. We are going to be using the Juvia's Place. This is the volume 4. And today we're actually going to be using the lighter shade. Like I said, we're going to be doing the cherry on the top. So our lips are going to be nice bright red. So we're going to pull it back just a little bit on the cheeks so the focus remains on our lips. So just give it a couple of taps in that lighter pink color. And between the highlighter and the bronzer is where you're going to add that. And then up the side of that temple just a little bit. For today, we want a little bit of color, but not too much. Get you a little bit up on the top, tip of the nose. There we go. Nice. All right, so we have finished our contouring. So let's review that verse together. We have got it scrolling across our screen there. Here we go. The Lord my God lights up my darkness. Psalm 18:28. And just like you can see that I am learning this verse too. So we are going to be doing that together this week and every week. So we are going to move on to our lips now. Let me get down just a little bit. There we go. Today we are going to be using the Revlon Color Stay Lip Liner. This is in the shade of red. And things I like about this one is it literally does stay very well. You don't have to sharpen it because it is a mechanical pencil, and I love that. No product waste. All right, so we're going to line those lips. Give yourself a nice V on that Cupid's bow there. All right, take a step back. Make sure you like the shape of it. There we go. That evened it out just a little bit. It's kind of round on one side and a little pointy on the other. So the lipstick that we are going to be using today is one of my most favorite reds. This is the MAC Matte lipstick, and this is in the shade of Russian Red. That's so beautiful. So we're going to start out with a Cupid's bow to make sure that we get that really good and then work our way around. Is such a beautiful red. All right. So today, that is such a beautiful red. We don't need to accentuate that with anything. It doesn't need any ombre of any kind. It is just beautiful. If you want to, you can add a gloss on the top of it if you're not into mattes. I love the way the MAC mattes wear those. So for me, I'll just be leaving it as it is. Now, as we move to our eyes today we are going to be using, like I said, it's going to be coffee with a cherry on the top. So this is our coffee, and this is the Juvia's Place Coffee Shop. we are going to be living in some really wonderful colors here. So we're going to use this one. The colors aren't named, or else I just tell you colors. We're going to be using this one here. We're going to be using this one here. We're going to be using this one here. I think we'll probably just stick with the 3 colors today. So just going to be a nice neutral palette for today. We are going to start with our all over shadow brush. And we're going to start in that lightest shade, which is going to be this one here. Now you can use any shade that you want. If you want to go with blues or greens, or not necessarily that would go with red lipstick, but you can do that with any 3 shades that you want. You're just going to need a light, a medium, and a dark. So we're going to start out with that lightest shade, and we're going to put that up on the top of the brow bone there. Just a nice, pleasant, fleshy, neutral kind of color. Now, obviously, if you have a darker skin tone, your fleshy, neutral color is going to be a little bit darker. Whatever is closest to your skin tone, that's what you're going to use for your light shade. I mean, just unless you just want some contrast. So, do what you want. All right. We're using this brush here, which is really an all over shadow brush. And we're going to be using that in this shade right here. And that is going to go on the bottom 2/3 of our lid. Just from the inside corner all the way up, meeting with that nice color that we just put on it first. Nothing too crazy. We're just using some neutrals. All right, and we're just blending that up into that first color. Now, if you want a little bit simpler of a look, you could kind of stop there, just move on to the liners. With such a bold red lipstick, you could really get away with that. Pop on some lashes and you're good to go. But I like to make it a little bit complicated. So there's that. We are going to grab an angled shadow brush, and we are going to move into, let's do this shade right here. We're gonna throw in a little bonus for you. So we're gonna do this one right here, which would still be a dark. And we're gonna use just the edge of this brush, just the flat edge of it. Just get it right there in that shadow. And we're gonna start just above the brow bone right there. And this one does have a little frost in it as well. I was actually hoping that was going to be a little more brown on me. Let's take our duster. And let's see if we can add a touch of brown to that. Let's actually grab this brush. We're going to use the edge of it right here. And let's grab a little bit lighter of a brown. And we're just going to work that in there. And use that for the blend out to try to get this a little more coffee-ish color. There we go. That's nicer. And we're just tapping it right on top of that other one. And then let's do the blend out up here. You're just touching it gently right where those 2 colors meet and letting them blend together. Okay, we're going to dust here. We're going to grab the light brush that we used, well, the medium brush that we used, and let's just go, since we added an extra shade on the top there, let's just make sure we got a nice clean area here. There we go. Clean that up just a little bit. We're going to grab our eyeliner brush. Oh, and just a heads up of what color I put on the top there. So I had used this color right here, which kind of came out a little bit not as brown as I was hoping. So I added this color right here on the top of it, just intensified that kind of coffee color nature of it. And now we're going to be going into this dark one here. So this is going to be the dark shadow brush. We're using our liner brush. Flat edge again, as well with this in that color. And we're going to get that right there on that crease. This is just going to give some definition. And then right along that lash line as well. And then along the lash line, that other one. And then we're going to use our smudging brush. Just the tip of that, just kind of tap it into that exact same color there. And we're just going to get a little extra right there on that outside corner with that smudging brush. If you want, you can tap it and add just a little bit more up here. Make sure you don't dilute that fine line you just made. All right, grab your duster. Okay, nice. Now I do see right here on the inside, I'm going to need to just touch that up just a smidge. There you go. Now, if you have hooded eyes like me, you want to make sure at this point, when you look forward, you can see that shadow peeking up above your crease there. So we're going to look forward. You can see it peeking up above that crease. So I am going to, looks like I need just a little more on this side over here. Nice. And we're going to come back with that lighter shadow brush and just blend over here. Sweet. All right, we're going to keep the eyeshadow palette open, but we're going to move to the eyeliner for just a minute. So we're going to use the Juvia's Place Nubian. This is the color of Kajal. We're going to line that top lid from the outside edge to about 2/3 across. There you go. Just a nice thin line. Okay, then we're going to do the same thing on the bottom as well. Let me scooch in a little bit for this one. Here we go. All right. And the colors that we used today were a little dark, so I'm actually going to step back to the powder that we used. And I am going to grab the bullet brush or the magic eraser. Just get a little on the edge of that. And just work it under where you just did that eyeshadow. Let's make sure that's all nice and cleaned up. There we go. Back to where we were. Okay, grab your eyeliner brush again. And we are going to go into the medium shade that we used. You're going to line right on the top. Smudge your brush. Okay, so we are got a lot happening here. On the inside corner of our eyes, we are going to use our highlighter. And this is actually just a different kind of eyeliner brush. Just has kind of a flat tip. You're just gonna give a little swipe into that highlighter there and get it right there in the corner. All right. One last dusting. Here we go. Eye watering just a tad. All right. Final eyeliner. We're going to be using the Too Faced Better Than Sex liquid. What is it called? Better Than Sex Easy Glide Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner. And this is going to go across the whole top lid. I store this like upside down in my brush container because that way the tip is always hydrated. So that has a beautiful tip on it. We're just going to line from the outside corner. Staying right next to that lash line. All the way to the inside corner. This is going to do a couple things for us. For one thing, it adds definition to the eye. For another thing, when we put our lashes on in just a minute, it is going to help conceal any gaps that you might have between your lash line and the lash line that you're putting on. So we're going to do that same thing on the other side here. All right. It's just a beautiful, clean line. I just love that one. All right. So we can't forget our brows. So for me, because I have, well, it's kind of a bleached up one, but it is got a little fashion pink in there. I am going to be using the NYX. This is the Jumbo Eye Pencil Crayon, and this is in the color Cupcake. It's just a cute pink color. This one really takes very little effort. If you have fashion colored hair, I would highly suggest you do this because it makes your brows like so ridiculously easy. All right, so we're just going to take whatever your brow product is, or if you're using one of these, no matter what your hair color is, your brow product is just going to apply onto the brows. If you don't love your brow shape, I know I mentioned this before, but come see my girl Olivia. She can do a lamination, she can tint you, definitely wax you, clean you up, give you some shape, help you out, give you a tutorial on all things brows. All right. Nice. Making sure we get that shape correct up for one thing, but then even for another. All right. Nice. Okay, let's look. Am I even? I feel like I need to come in just a little on that one. Okay. Nice. If you need to spoolie that out, use a brow setter or a pomade to set those brows. I don't really have enough hair to worry about that, so we can just press on. All right, so we are going to move on to our lashes now. So I am using this is the Tarte lash curler. And when we're doing the lashes, we're also going to be saying the verse together. So you want to make sure that you get your lash curler kind of set up in the right space. Let me grab my little mirror here. There we go. You want to make sure you get your lash curler set up in the right space. You want it to crimp down, but you don't want it to like pinch your eyelid. If it's pinching your eyelid, you need to pull it out just a smidge. We're not trying to yank lashes out. We're just trying to get a good curl. So find your sweet spot. Well, having a little difficulty this one. Okay, there we go. Find your sweet spot. Okay, ready? We're going to say that verse twice together. Here we go. And crimp. The Lord my God lights up my darkness. Psalm 18:28. And again, the Lord my God lights up my darkness. Psalm 18:28. Okay, release that. Other side. And find your sweet spot. There we go. And let me get over there. There we go. And go. The Lord my God lights up my darkness. Psalm 18:28. I think I added an extra pronoun. Let's try that again. Nope, that's good. The Lord my God lights up my darkness. Psalm 18:28. All right. Set that aside. If your lashes are black, you can just not do this step at all. My lashes, however, if you can see, they're kind of clear and white. So if you put the lashes on top of that, it looks a little gross. So we're going to give just one coat of mascara so that my lashes got some color to them so that they blend in. I am using the Monsieur Big. This is in the waterproof. I do not like it to go anywhere. Once I put it on, I want it to stay exactly where it's supposed to be. And this is a great volumizing mascara. All right, let's catch the other side. We are mascaraing on the front and the back side of our lashes so we can get the most out of this application. Make sure you catch those little ones on the inside and the little ones on the outside. And then we'll be doing the ones on the bottom. Now the bottom's not going to be getting false lashes. So I do like to add a little more mascara on there. There we go. Oh, that's always fun. Okay. This side was being a little more ornery than the other one. All right, now that spot where my wand touched my face that I wiped out, we're just going to take that bullet and erase that. Okay, so now we've got one coat of mascara. We are going to put our lashes on now. Love these. These are the Juvia's Place. This is the Nubian Lash, and this is in the Zaria. So these are just a nice, pretty, these are in the medium volume. These are just, they've got enough extra, but it's not like too much. And they're long enough, but they're not so long that they bump into my glasses because I usually wear glasses. All right, we're going to be using the Velour eye tools, specifically the tweezer here. I love these. The lashes have already been trimmed. Always trim from the outside edge of the lash. These are pretty easy to tell which way is which way because we've got a little bit of flare on this, so it's longer on the outside edge, narrower on the inside edge. When you grab the lash off of the tray, you're just going to grab from the outside edge of the lash and then just pull it off the tray like that. We're going to set those down in front of me, and they're going to be facing the direction that they're actually going to be applied, so it's kind of easy to keep track of them. I am using the Allure. This is the 18-hour, I think. Yeah, the 18-hour lash glue. I like the little paddle on this one compared to some others. It's just like a flat little paddle. Goes on really nice. You don't have to worry about it like slathering anywhere. It doesn't hold too much glue. It's just like perfect. So grab the lashes in the center there with that lash tool. And the glue or the adhesive is going to go on the top edge, making sure we catch those outside corners really well. And then I like to add it to the inside of that band as well. Just helps stick a little bit better. So we're doing the top edge and then also the flat side. All right, so picking up that other set of lash, and again on the top edge and then on the back side. And looks like I got a little glue where I do not want it. So let me get my little tweezer and we're just gonna dab that out of there. There we go. And make sure we get that spot good. There we go. Outside corners have been loved on. So we are good to go. We're gonna set that one down. We are going to grab the lash on the other side. And that glue takes just a minute to kind of set and be ready. So let's just say that verse together while we're waiting for that. The Lord my God lightens my darkness, lights up my darkness. Psalm 18:28. And the lashes, grab the first one that you put the adhesive on, and you're going to set it down right on where that lash line meets your lid. And then we're going to walk it around, inside edge and the outside edge. Just press in every once in a while. Make sure that your lashes have made a good contact with your lid. Kind of ruffle your lashes a little bit. Make sure they have brushed in with those lashes. And now we can grab that other one. Looks like this one needs just a second. So let's say that verse again together. You ready? Okay. The Lord my God lights up my darkness. Psalm 18:28. Yep, Psalm 18:28. And we've got that scrolling across the bottom of your screen. No fair, you can see it easier than I can. All right, and we're going to take that second lash and we're going to set it right on the top there, right where that lash meets the eyelid. Inside edge. Oh, that's where that glue was. That's always a fun day. All right, try that again. need a little help here. There we go. Get the outside edge down. I'm going to tug it out just a little bit because while I was dorking with that, it kind of moved it. There we go. And let's grab just down here and get that. There we go. Let's go. Well, I can see that's going to be a nightmare. Alrighty, here we go. Where there's a will, there's a way. And this is just a regular set of tweezers. So I'll have to use some velour lash glue to get that cleaned off after I have wore these, because that's not going to be a fun thing. All right, we're just pressing in, letting those lashes mix with our lashes. Okay, and that did finally stick down and behave itself, so yay! I'm just gonna double check that. Yeah, okay, nice. All right, so now we have got our coffee with the cherry on top. And let's see, what do we have left to do? What have I forgot? We have not set our makeup. So now that we've got everything all gorgeous the way we want it, you know what? Let's do one more thing. We did kind of a lot of dusting today, so we want to make sure our highlighter is good. So we're going to grab just a fluffy little highlighter brush. And we're just going to highlight and make sure we've caught the top of that really nice, because we did brush an awful lot today. There we go. All right, now that we have that done, you can see the balance now between having that cheek just a little bit lighter really brings out the lips and the eyes a little bit, and the colors today really made my eyes look blue. I like that. All right, so we're going to be using the Urban Decay D-Slick. There are all flavors or iterations of this particular setting spray, so use the one that fits you. This one's going to give you kind of a nice, pleasant, soft matte finish and help control oil. You want dewy, they got one for that. You want an ultra matte, they've got that. Just find your poison. So we're going to give it a little bit of shake and just give that a set. There we go. This is going to help your foundation, your eyeshadow, everything just to last better. And we're just going to let that fall on the face a little bit. All right. So I would like to say thank you so much for hanging out with me today with a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus. My name is Wendy Merritt. It has been fun hanging out with you, enjoying some finger painting for this morning. So remember, you can catch me online all throughout the week on whatever your favorite social media platform is, or better yet, come see me at my store in Midlothian. I would love to see you in person. So we're going to do a couple things. We are going to get the verse from scrolling. Hold on, let me find it here. There we go. We're going to remove that verse from scrolling across the bottom of our screen. There we go. And we're going to do a little bit of review. So we are going to see some scripture cards go up. These are every week. We put these. I put these out so that we can review the verse and learn the verse together. You can use it in a couple of different places, print it out, whatever fits you. If you're a digital junkie like me, save it as a picture on your phone, and then you can just like flashcard through the photos to help encourage that memorization. All right, so we're going to start out with episode 1. You ready? Here we go. The grass withers and the flowers fall, but the word of the Lord endures forever. 1 Peter 1:24 and 25. I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. Philippians 4:13. God's grace is all you need. 2 Corinthians 12:9. Be strong and courageous, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. And that's Joshua 1:9. The Lord your God, the Lord is my strength and my song, Exodus 15:2. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice. And that's Psalm 118:24. The moon and the stars you set in place. And that is Psalm 8, 3. Taste and see that the Lord is good. Psalm 34:8. And let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. Galatians 6:9. She is clothed with strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future. Proverbs 31:25. Great is the Lord and most worthy of praise. And that is Psalm 96:4. Let me get over here. There we go. All right. Next one, I've written your name on the palms of my hand, and that's Isaiah 49:16. We have this hope as an anchor for the soul. Hebrews. Oh, man. We have this hope as an anchor for the soul. Okay, I'm going to have to cheat. Hebrews 6. Oh, hold on. Let me find it. Sorry. Isaiah 49:16. All right. Well, evidently I need to put that up in my flashcard a little bit more. All right. Okay. And then we have finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, anything worthy of praise, think on these things. Philippians 4:8. Kind words are like honey, sweet to the soul. And that is Proverbs 16:24. Oh, be the light, Matthew 5:16. And then the next one, we went over a couple verses, and you are the salt of the earth, Matthew 5:13. I love the graphic on this one. Set your mind on things above, Colossians 3:2. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, Proverbs 3:5. The word of the Lord endures forever, 1 Peter 1:25. That reverts back to that first verse that we did. And then we have, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. And that one is from Joshua 24:15. Under his wings, you will find refuge, Psalm 91:4. Serve one another in love, Galatians 5:13. Blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord, Jeremiah 17:7. Blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord, 17:7. Yes, yay! All right, we've got pray more, worry less. I like this one because it's short, sweet, and concise. Matthew 6:34. Act justly, love mercy, walk humbly with your God, Micah 6:8. There will be showers of blessing. And that one's from Ezekiel 34:26. He refreshes my soul. Psalm 23:3. We're coming down to the stretch. Can you see the light at the end of the tunnel? Okay. Live a life filled with love. Ephesians 5:2. And we've got be joyful in hope. Romans 12:12. And then last week, our final verse for this week, we've got clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. And that one comes from Colossians 3:12. And then we've got our verse for this week. Let me get that one off there. We've got our verse for this week, which is the Lord, my God, lightens my darkness. There we go. Okay. And that one is coming from Psalm 18:28. All right, let me get that off the screen there. Well, this has been a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus. I've got the QR codes going to be up on your screen there. This is where all of our verses are going to be coming from, so you can cheat and get ahead a little bit if you want to. If you have not been with us this whole season, that's okay. Go back and memorize the other ones if you want to, but just start where you're at. Start now, start today with the verse that we've got, and then move on forward. All right, we're going to get that off here. Let's go over to our send out, our blessing for today. And that one, it's way easier to sing that song than it is to remember the verse to me. Again, back to the song thing. So let me sing a blessing over you today as we head out throughout our week. Then we'll pray, and then we'll be good to go. So, the Lord bless you and keep you. Make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift his face toward you and give you peace. So, Father, thank you so much for my friends that are hanging out with me here today, the ones that are online, looking later on, Father, whether they're here live or they're later on, Father. I just pray that you would bless them this week as they go throughout their week. Help us to hide your word in our heart, Father, that we would take that extra step to do that, whatever that means for each one of us. I just pray that you would help us to recall these verses, that we would use them to edify and encourage ourselves, and then also to edify and encourage others. Father, I just pray that you would help us to be dedicated to this process, that we would live with these verses, Father, and that we would use them in the way that they were intended, Father. We thank you so much for giving us your word so that we have the opportunity to be able to treasure these. Father, just bless us this week, I pray. In Jesus' name, amen. Well, it has been a joy to hang out with you today. I do pray that you have a wonderful week this week. Goodbye and God bless.